All right. I know folks are still joining, but maybe we'll get started. Tama, is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. This is the application overview for 24R3 application release. If you go to the next slide, we will talk a little bit about the roadmap. So that's why we have the safe harbor. Our timelines are subject to change. As I go to the roadmap, I'll explain, give you some idea of what's coming up. Uh, the team that's working on supply chain analytics is represented here. My name is Ash Bajpai. I head the finance and supply chain analytics product management efforts. Kaushik is not here today, but we got Rama, Karthik, and Sangamesh. They are my colleagues responsible for individual parts of supply chain analytics. And you have all the expertise available here in this call in case you have any questions. In terms of agenda, we'll quickly touch on the roadmap. Then we will dive into supply chain features, procurement, and we will have a few common features that we will speak to as well, right? And this is all focused on 24R3. The next slide. Okay, so just quick context for everybody. And some of this may already be known to some of you, but Fusion Data Intelligence has essentially application releases and platform releases. For the most part, what we're going to talk today will be focused on application release, which is available now to some of you, and some of you it may be becoming available in just a matter of days because we are in the process of rolling it out. The content that we're going to share today will give you an overview of the application features. This content will be made available on Customer Connect, and within a couple of weeks, we will even post this recording. So, in case you have colleagues who are not able to join today and will benefit from understanding what's coming out in 24R3, you can always point them to Customer Connect for both the slides as well as recording. Product documentation is available now. So if you go to the What's New section within the product documentation, you will see some of the same information that we have available at a summary level, and then you can get into the details. Always a good starting point for understanding any release, whether application or platform. And like I said, we have a lot of PMs available on this call. So as we go along, at any point, if you have questions, please do use the Q&A feature to ask your questions. If you like some feature that we're talking about, and it's not a question, but just a comment, Rama, I believe participants can use the chat function as well,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So leverage the interactive nature of this session and give us your feedback, ask questions as we go along. Next slide. Okay, so just a couple of things I'll hit on in terms of roadmap. 24R3 is what came out, and this is what we're going to talk about today. So the first swim lane or first pillar I'll not talk about. In terms of the upcoming bucket, we are working on maintenance. So there are new set of features that we are planning on maintenance that should be coming out in a matter of release or two. On the purchase orders and agreement side, we have had customers who would like to get a better understanding of, the approvals and the change orders related insights. So that's something we've been looking at, and we expect that, will start to trickle in with R4. If there are some pieces which we are not able to get to, it might get deferred beyond that, but you should start to see some of that in R4. Then on the receipt accounting related capabilities that we've released over last few releases, we are going to go back and add GL segments and PO attributes. So you have a more complete set of attributes, especially on the finance side. I think GL segments will really be important. A couple of additional features I would like to highlight. Planning analytics is work in progress. It's a very complex feature. Um, very, I don't think we'll be able to make it for the next release, but it's going to be the release after that. Our goal is to get into an LA, where we bring in supply chain planning data and provide you some insights into based on supply chain planning. On the WMS side, we've been testing a connector to WMS. We expect that will go into preview at some point within next couple of releases. So that's also work in progress. If you have interest in any of these features, please feel free to reach out to us, share your comments, and we'll be happy to engage and give you more insights into what's coming up and also understand your expectations, your requirements. With that, go to the next slide, and I'll hand it over to Karthik.
Yeah. So thank you, Ash. In SCM analytics and procurement analytics, we have quite a bit of features which we have introduced. This is the summary slide where we talk about all the new features, maintenance work order, subject area, work order costing, enhancements, enhanced data validation, enhanced inventory, aging, turn subject areas, and OTM connector, as Ash mentioned, is also in preview mode. Um, and we also have a new subject area for sustainability that is also coming up in this release. So let's do a deep dive. And yeah, uh, in this release, we actually wanted to introduce this new subject area. And basically, most of the customers who have the sustainability journeys, they say the greatest challenge is the gathering and organizing the required data. In a complete Oracle solution, we are having a new module called Sustainability introduced in Fusion Analytics. And FDI is also complementing the Fusion Analytics by providing the reporting layer. And just to introduce a little bit of functional overview, uh, we have various scope emissions in sustainability, which every customers would like to report. The scope 1, scope 2, scope 3 emissions. Scope 1 is basically the direct emissions. Let's say if you are a manufacturing customer, if you are producing various emissions, so that reporting is called or bucketed under the scope 1 emissions. Scope 2 would be indirect emission, which for example, you are purchasing electricity, that would be a scope 2 emission. And scope 3 would be indirect, but it's more like we are buying some purchase goods from a supplier, business travel, all these things will be occupied as scope 3. So we are very happy to introduce a new subject area for sustainability in FDI, which will be the sustainability activity subject area. And you can also see the architecture, how we are integrating Oracle Fusion and Oracle FDI together as a single solution for this particular area. So we kind of support all the Fusion data sources or non-data Fusion data sources. We basically capture, extract, and create an activity record. We also have a activity management functionality, which can post all the activities in a ledger. And we use emission calculator, which uh, can be used to automate the emission computation. And finally, we can report all the activities under FDI. In the upcoming releases, we also will have a support for OTBI, but in this presentation, we will be focusing only on Fusion Data Intelligence. Okay. As I was introducing this subject area, the key highlights for the subject area would be that we need an activation of the sustainability functional area. This is available as the limited availability functionality only. And for this to be enabled, you'll have to reach out to us. And the various dimensions which or the attributes which are supported are legal entity, the sustainability ledger, the period, item, supplier, activity details. We support various types of activity details, activity measures, and activity emissions. Right now, in the current release, we are anchoring the activity date uh, in the subject area, which is primarily Gregorian calendar based. In the future release, we are planning to do the fiscal or the sustainability period anchoring. And some of the key insights which I wanted to highlight is what all you can do is what is the company's carbon footprint? How are we tracking towards reducing the carbon reduction goals? What is the trend of scope 1, scope 2, scope 3 emissions? What kind of fuels which could cost most of my scope 1 emissions? Who is the supplier who's doing predominantly the scope 2 emission, whether it is market based, location based, or can we calculate it separately? So all this is possible in the subject area. And what is our scope 3 emission by spending category? That is a critical insight as well. And as I just highlighted, this is available as a limited availability feature, and it needs the activation in either in the ERP or the SCM SKUs. Okay. So as I explained in the previous slide, I just wanted to touch base on the dimensions and metrics also. Uh, from a dimensions, we do support the time, which is anchored to the activity date, the legal entity, sustainability ledger, sustainability period, inventory item, supplier. All these are dimensions available. And we also have various attributes under activity details, activity measures, and activity emissions. And we had the carbon dioxide equivalent emission quantity, total scope 1 emission, scope 2 emission categorized by market or location based, scope 3, which is also categorized by purchase goods and services or waste generated in operations, and finally, total scope 3 emissions as well. Just to let you know, uh, in case if you are wondering what is this carbon dioxide equivalent, this is nothing but standardized emission metric. Uh, for example, you may have multiple emissions like sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, etc., etc., and we try to convert the emissions into a common standard, which is carbon dioxide. So even if there is a sulfur dioxide emission, it will be converted into a carbon dioxide equivalent, and then we report under that particular equivalent emission. Okay. So this is an upcoming dashboard which you can do the analysis by flexible periods. We can do the emission trends by sustainability ledger, the scope category, and by country as well, which I'll be demonstrating in the next part. Okay. So let me jump to the sustainability emissions. As I was explaining earlier, we can slice and dice by the various periods. So you can create a parameter which can uh, say past 1 year, past 2 quarters, etc., etc. So here I have selected past 2 quarters for a given ledger, which is the sustainability ledger, and the various activity types. So we have various activity types like mobile combustion, purchase energy, waste generated in operation as an example. So you can also categorize by those emissions as well. And we get all the emissions reported at a overview. And we can also see the unit of measure. So here in this configuration, the carbon dioxide equivalent is measured in metric tons. So you can see all the unit of measures uh, specified in all the titles of the tiles. And we can also see the scope by various trends for the past 2 quarters. So this month is August, so we are seeing all the past 6 months of data. And we can also see the total emissions at an overview, uh, where we can see the contribution, right? So, for example, We have scope 3, which is contributing 61%, which needs to be addressed. So that is something which can be visualized here as well. We can also map by country. So, for example, you have a multiple facilities in your organization, and you wanted to see by facility, or you wanted to see by country, specifically country. We can also map using this map filter, and we can also see the details by just clicking the country, and you can see the emissions for that particular country. All the other visuals do change based on that as also. Okay. So let me just, um, yeah. So we can also navigate to more details by right clicking, and you can navigate to the details. So where you can see the various data for the past 2 quarters, what was the scope 3 emissions. So in this case, I selected the scope 3 emissions, and I search for the details. So you can see all the activities, the description, what is the unit of measure, what is the scope 3 emission quantity. All this can be reported in this detail page. Of course, you can add more columns like supplier, scope category, etc., etc., just to give an overview on the sustainability subject area. With this, I conclude my demo on sustainability. Any questions? All right. Thank you. I'll go to the second feature, which I'm going to talk about. This is a small enhancement in the manufacturing functional area. We are adding two more new metrics for enhanced data validation. The two metrics are completed and closed work order count and release work order count. This data validation will help in giving us confidence in the way FDI is extracting the data. You can uh, compare what is the completed and closed work orders and the release work orders in the source as well as in FDI. And we can do the attributes selection by organization code, period, start time, work area, work center, item, work method, subtype, work order. All these granular details we can also do. Okay. So let me go to the next third feature which I'm going to talk about. Uh, we are going to introduce a new subject area for maintenance, and we have only one subject area which is on the maintenance work orders only. So in this subject area, we can analyze the maintenance work orders, quantities, and dates. And some of the key highlights are, even this subject area needs the activation of the manufacturing functional area. So we are trying to utilize the same common data model of manufacturing functional area, and we can use this uh, by using the same data model. We are creating this new maintenance work order subject area as well. Now, we can the dimensions which we support here are the asset details, product item, order details, operations, quantities, and dates. We do support preventive and corrective maintenance work order types. We support emergency, planned, reactive, safety, under warranty work order type subtypes. Both Gregorian and fiscal calendars are supported. Fiscal calendar from the primary ledger, which is associated with the maintenance organization business unit, is supported. Some of the key insights which you can analyze are how much time does my org spend on doing preventive versus corrective maintenance? How often is my org doing preventive maintenance? Are our maintenance practice efficient? Is how much work do I have to do? How many resources do I need to do the maintenance work? Is the maintenance increasing or decreasing? So all these kind of insights is possible from the subject area. Some other key considerations again are we need to activate the manufacturing functional area. So along with the manufacturing subject areas, once you activate the manufacturing functional area, you'll have all manufacturing and maintenance subject area in your instance. Okay. So let me come to the next slide where we talk about the dimensions, metrics, and DFFs. We have the regular uh, dimensions, which is common for manufacturing in the subject area also. So, for example, time, legal entity, ledger, business unit, organization, work area, work center, catalog, item category, inventory item, work order operations. All these are the existing dimension. I wanted to highlight the asset dimension, which is added into this manufacturing functional area. Right now, in this release, we support only single asset manufacturing maintenance work orders. And in the future, we are planning to enhance multiple assets as well. Multiple asset is actually a fusion functionality which got introduced in 24C. So we will be releasing it, we will be enhancing this asset dimension later in a future FDI release as well. Some of the key metrics which we also are supporting are the various work order counts, on hold, unreleased, released, closed and completed work orders, total work orders, what is on time, what is pending, what is the average work order delay. So all these metrics are available. Along with this, we can also, you know, report the ready quantity and completed quantity as well in the subject area. From a DFF support point of view, we are supporting item, assets, maintenance organization, work area, work center, work orders, and work order operations as well. In future, we will be introducing the resources and material subject areas too. So when that subject area comes, we will have necessary support in terms of dimensions like resource or material item, etc. Okay. With this, I'd like to give a short demo on the maintenance work order subject area. We can, I just created a very simple dashboard for this demo. And we can filter the necessary organizations. We can slice and dice by the various other dimensions like work area, work center, and even the asset also. So for example, you have a single asset doing multiple maintenance work orders. We can see the various trends for a particular asset also. We can also see by corrective or preventive maintenance trends. So the visuals do change it based on the various types actually. And some of the use cases which I was talking about, or the key insight which I was talking about is, for example, the preventive maintenance ratio. So this preventive maintenance ratio uh, can be computed as total number of work orders which are preventive in nature divided by total number of uh, maintenance work orders. So that's the preventive maintenance ratio which we have shown here. And we can also create a trend forecast where we can see a 90% confidence, and you can see the lower outliers where there is a problematic area. So here, for example, in 2023 quarter four, we have a 0% maintenance, preventive maintenance ratio, which is actually a problem. So those kind of analysis can be done using this visual. And very simple breakup of how many is my preventive and corrective work order percentages. So that is something which we are also be able to show in this visual. Okay. With this, I conclude my demo on maintenance. Any questions on this subject area? All right then. Thank you very much. I hope you like this presentation and the demo. I'd like to hand it over to Sangamesh, my colleague, for the rest of the presentation.
Thank you, Karthik. Good morning and good evening, everyone. Thank you for taking time to join the session today. My name is Sangamesh. I'm a senior product manager in the SCM analytics team. Today, I'm very happy to introduce some of the exciting new features and enhancements as part of the inventory subject area. The first one, is the enhancements related to the inventory aging, which I'll be talking. And apart from that, we also have introduced a new workbook, that is the inventory turns workbook. I also will talk about few tiny enhancements in the uh, inventory transactions and the sales order subject area. And I've kept the best to the last. So I'll talk about it, when I reach that slide. So let me first start with the information related to the inventory receipts. This is the functional area which you have been seeing in the preview section all these days. You have enabled, used, and we got a good feedback so far. Now, the good news is we are moving this from preview to opt-in GA. So opt-in GA is similar to a general available feature. It is just that, you will have to do an additional step of going on to the currently available features and just enable this. If you see on this screenshot, on the bottom side, I have hit the general available features tab and then turn on the inventory receipts. This is what you'll have to do it once we go into 24R3 release. Moving on to the next one, this is the enhancement which I was referring to. As most of you have already used, and you know that we introduced inventory aging subject area in 23R4 release. That's about 3 releases back. A lot of customers have been using, and we have got good feedback about it. But the previous feature was supporting only 365 days of data. But now this subject area supports all inventory in the warehouse, irrespective of the receipt date. That is, you'll be able to see the inventory aging beyond 1+ year. We also have added 10 new metrics, static metrics, which will help you to see the data by slicing and dicing beyond 1 year, and this is going to help you. Then it also supports the latest inventory organization cost for the items which are beyond 1+ years. And another enhancements that we have done is to support DFF for item catalog, category, locators, sub-inventory items, and inventory org parameters. As I said, on the inventory aging metrics, we have introduced new metrics both on the quantity side and also on the value side. On the quantity, you will be able to see the inventory age for 1+ year, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 5, and 5+ years. And same thing on the value side, you'll be able to see the value for 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 5, and 5+ years. The next other enhancements that we have done is on the inventory turn subject area. This is a small change where we have supporting the DFFs for item catalog, item category, items, and inventory org parameters. These are the DFFs that we are supporting. And the one which I said that we are going to introduce new is the inventory turns analysis workbook. This is totally new, pre-built analysis, which is going to help you a lot, and it'll make your analysis much easier. With this workbook, you'll be able to see some of the key insights, related to inventory management metrics like inventory turns, days in inventory, and you'll also be able to do excess and obsolete analysis. This is secured by a new duty role, that is inventory turns analysis content duty role. You'll be able to see, I'm going to give a demo of this. You'll be able to see, as of now, you're able to see, these are the 8 different tiles where you'll be able to see the inventory turns, inventory, days in inventory, inventory quantity, and excess and obsolete quantity also. As I said, this workbook also helps you to analyze inventory turns for the past 6 periods. This is the graph, this is the visual which I'm going to demo. And then you'll be able to see the days in inventory for the past 6 periods. You'll also be able to see the inventory on hand quantity by category. And then you'll be able to analyze the on hand quantity versus the sales quantity trend for the past 1 year or past 6 months, the way you want to see it. So I'll now jump into the system to give you a quick demo of the features which I spoke. Let me start with the inventory aging metrics that we have supported. See, for this demo purpose, we have created this visual. In fact, customers can create their own visuals for the inventory aging subject area. As of now, you'll be able to see this donut visual where you'll be able to view the inventory aging bands by quantity. This is the inventory age 1+ year metric that I said we have introduced. Apart
And
from,
we're seeing only the slide.
I'm sorry, you're not able to see the slide? Okay. Sorry.
No, we
No,
are
we
seeing
see
the
the
slide.
slide. Are you sharing DV or slide?
Okay, let me share the entire desktop. Okay, thank you.
We are
Okay.
seeing the slide. Yeah.
Yeah, now let me go there.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry for that. So let me start once again. So this is the inventory aging overview. So we have created this visual for this demo purpose. And as you are aware, you can create your own visuals. You can customize the visuals the way you want it because the inventory aging subject area gives multiple metrics which will help you to do all your inventory aging analysis. In this visual, you'll be able to see the inventory aging bands by quantity. So inventory aging 1+ here is the new metric that we have introduced. The rest of them are all the old metrics, the age for 30 days, 61 to 90, 91 to 180, 11, age 181 to 365 days. This is what you'll be able to see by quantity. And same thing you can see by amount. Now you can see it for the past 1 year, past 2 quarters, or the way you would like to see those specific visuals. Apart from this, you can also see the aging by category. In this visual, we have just created a simple visual where if any customers want to see the inventory aging by specific category, you'll be able to see it. You can here once again you can create any visual of your choice. This is a simple horizontal bar graph. So, and as I said, you'll be able to create your own visuals as per your business requirement. Now I'll move on to the next demo, that is the inventory analysis overview. This is the new pre-built analysis that's going to be part of 24R3 release. In this workbook, you'll be able to see the inventory turns, inventory on hand quantity, days in inventory, excess quantity, obsolete quantity, obsolete amount. And apart from this, you have these visuals where you'll be able to see the inventory turns for the past periods and days in inventory for the past 6 periods. You'll also be able to compare the on-hand quantity versus sales quantity and look at by amount and by quantity. Visual also gives you the inventory on-hand quantity by category. All these visuals, you can see them by filtering for the various time periods. As of now, I've shown the 6 periods. You can change it to the quarter. And if you want to see for the current month, you can see for the current month. And you'll be able to see it for the various calendar, business unit, organization, and UAM. So these are the options that you have from the new rebuilt inventory turns workbook. Now I'll move on to the next point. So apart from these new features, we also have done some minor enhancements. One of that is the transaction timestamp, which we have introduced in the inventory transaction subject area. This is going to be very helpful because this was one of the input from the customer, and they said that we heard them and introduced it so that it helps all the customers. We also have done some improvement on the sales order header level for the order total attributes. This is primarily to improve the performance. You'll be able to see the impact of that in the sales order subject area, specifically on the order totals folder and the pricing segment folder. Now, to the last part of my presentation, this is the OTM connector. I have been getting a lot of inquiries from the customer about to inquire to know more about OTM connector and when it's going to be preview, when they would like to use this connector for their testing and production purpose. And now is the time that they can do all those things. I'm happy to introduce that OTM connector is going to be preview starting from 24R3 platform release, which you can expect sometime in the mid of September. Some of you may be aware, and for all those who are new, OTM connector preview allows to extract all the necessary data from your OTM environment into FDI using the data augmentation capability. As I said, it will be part of the 24R3 platform release. This data augmentation feature will allow users to create the necessary dimensions and facts. Users can build their own subject area, using semantic model extension, as per their business requirements. They'll be able to use the base metrics, and they can build the derived metrics, create visualization and dashboards for all their operational and executive analysis. This feature is something most of the customers were requesting, and it's going to be part of the 24R3 platform release. Any questions? If no questions, thank you. I'll now hand it over to my colleague Rama.
Thanks, Sangesh. Let me share my screen. Please confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes, Rama.
Thanks again, Sangesh. I'm Ramamurthy. I'll be covering costing area and some of the common features. In this release, we have expanded costing area by adding work order costing subject area. And also this is the right timing. As we had rolled out a manufacturing subject area, and we see that good amount of FDI customers are using this manufacturing subject area. The key persona for this subject area is primarily cost accountant, and the secondary persona would be the manufacturing supervisors. In Fusion, the work order costing enables a business to calculate manufacturing costs for the product, and also WIP valuation, scrap valuation, and also cost based on component usage and resource usage. Now, using this data, we have built this subject area called work order costing. And this subject area helps provide or ability to provide the insights on work order cost and variances. And you can dice and slice by a manufacturing org, cost book, and product. And also there are important metrics that is covered in this subject area, basically you can analyze what is the total cost incurred, what's my WIP balance, what's the scrap incurred, and what are the different variances. And all these you can dice and slice by cost elements. And this subject area supports a different work order cost type like standard, non-standard, transform, and rework. And also we support discrete manufacturing and process manufacturing as part of this subject area. And also different external manufacturing process like contract manufacturing and outside process also is supported in this subject area. The key insights what you can get from this subject area are you can able to see the cost of finished good that is manufactured. And also you can get to see the cost of WIP, which is currently undergoing in production. And also you can see the WIP value by different cost element. And also you can see the trend of overhead absorption. On the left-hand side, you can see the visual, which shows the WIP balance for last 2 quarters by period. And some of the key consideration for this subject area is, first is the subject area is preview. So you need to go to the enable feature and to enable this feature. And then this subject area supports all the types of work orders and different types of manufacturing processes and different statuses. Except unreleased work orders, you get all the data into this subject area. To activate the subject area, you need to enable this functional area called SCM work order cost. And to enable the subject area, you need to have a cost accountant job role and the duty role named work order costing analysis. And basically, this is secured by cost organization. This subject area is secured. And I'll show you a short demo on this work order. So let me demonstrate how the cost accountant user can see the work order costing subject area. So for today's demo, what I'm focusing is the WIP balance. And I want to show some insights around that. And also highlight some of the OAC features which I use to build this workbook. Whatever you're seeing is called as a workbook in OAC. Before getting into demo, let me give some background on WIP balance. As you know, one of the key area of focus for cost accountant are inventory balances, and other than inventory balances are in-transit balance and WIP balance. So inventory balance, already we have a subject area and it's covered in FDI. Next is the in-transit balance. Basically, in-transit balances are goods that are in transit based on FOB terms. And we are planning to build this subject area in FDI shortly. Followed by is the WIP balance. So basically, WIP balance are the value of product that is in production process, but it's yet to be completed. That is the total cost of product that are partially completed at any given point. So for cost accountant, the accurate WIP balance is crucial for preparing the financial statement. So this makes an entry in the WIP balance. So hence I'll try to show some insights using this workbook for WIP balances. In this workbook, so I have used some features of OAC platform. Basically the time trend, right? I've created a multiple trend, like past 1 year, I can see the trend or the data. A different time series, basically, I've created using the parameter. Okay, let me use past 2 quarters. If I use a past 2 quarters, you'll be seeing the data for past 2 quarters. And also you can see that this visual, the heading changed to 2 quarters. This visual, I made it static. This will always show current quarter. And the below visual, which shows input, output, and variance, also shows past 2 quarters. Let me change it back to one year. You can see here, now the data started showing for past 1 year. This is a static current quarter, and here you can see for past 1 year. Okay, so let me go to 2 quarters. And here I would like to see the WIP balance for a particular cost org. Okay, I'm choosing this cost org, and I want to do analysis for only one cost book, because I should not use more than one cost book. Here in the OSC, we do have a functionality to select more than, restrict to one cost book. Basically, if I select any, means I can select only one cost book at a time. So I'll be selecting this cost book. Now I'm going to do analysis for this this manufacturing location. Now you can see these are some of the important metrics I'm using in this workbook. My focus is more on WIP balance. And here also I use the OAC feature to show the high and low WIP balance, just a pointer on this metric. So let us see the insight on WIP balance. Here in this visual, this is my WIP balance for last 2 quarters. This is how it is trending. For July 2024, I can see around 0.8 million of WIP balance by material cost type and around 0.2 billion by resource cost element. I want to see what product contributed to it. So I used a OSC feature to drill down. So I want to see what are the product contributed to it. So here it will show me what are the products contributed. Here, basically 3 products contributed to this WIP balance. And by work area, by work center, it shows me the WIP balance. Again, I wanted to see what work orders contributed to it. So I for this product. So basically, I right click on this, and again I go back. I want to see by work order. So basically, it tells me for a particular period, for the work orders, for a cost org, and for a particular product. These are the different work orders contributed to the WIP balance. So especially I can see this this work order contributed for this much dollars. Okay, so this is a short insight I wanted to show on the WIP balance. So the next, I just wanted to highlight what is covered in this workbook, or sorry, in the subject area. In the work order subject area, there are important conforming dimensions like ledger, business unit, manufacturing or cost org, inventory item. So basically, we have 2 types of items. One is finished good item. This just shows all the finished good item. Here, this inventory item shows basically finished good item as well as the component item. And I do have hierarchies and what are the metrics covered, we can able to see. Okay, so let me move back to the next feature. So the next feature, this is a common feature across across supply chain. So basically what we did was we enhanced the GL segments dimension. With this enhancement, we support tree version status and effective days. Basically, with this feature, you can able to see different statuses, and that will help you to select the right tree version. And in supply chain area, these are the 4 subject areas which uses GL segments. And before this enhancement, you had only these 3 columns: ledger, accounting calendar, and the filters. You you did not have an insight to select which tree which tree you want to use, which version you want to use, basically. So now we added the status and the effective date. So this will help you to select the right tree version. And the next feature is we did some updates to the existing workbooks or we existing pre-built workbooks or the pre-built analysis. Example, if you take purchase order spend analysis, so what we did was we added a new filter called ledger type. Basically, you will have primary ledger, secondary ledger, and reporting ledger. And we made it to select by single select, and we made it mandatory. Similarly, we did some changes on the time horizon. Like initially, it was showing for last 1 year, we changed it to 6 months. And we did some look and feel changes and standardizing the fonts and so on. So you can able to see those details in the what's new. You will we have a detailed explanation on what got changed. Example, I was talking about this pre-built analysis. This is what I explained, right? The ledger type was changed. Similarly, what we did was we added a default value for procurement category. Similarly, 12 workbooks or 12 pre-built analysis got updated, and you could able to see those, and it's available in the what's new documentation. Okay, this is one of the bug we fixed. Basically, this Sangamesh has covered. I'll not talk about in detail. And I'll just want to use 1 minute to talk about the documentation. So as said, you will be shortly getting the update on the what's new for 24R3. So basically, you can see the what's new here and what are the preview features, what are the FAQs. And if you go to Fusion Supply Chain Analytics, you could able to see whatever we had showcased, right? You will able to see those. With this, I'll end my presentation. So please put your question on the chat. We will able to answer your questions. Ash, anything you want to end the session, Ash? Want to add to end the session?
No, I think just want to thank everybody for taking the time to join us, and just a reminder that our intent is to come back here on customer community and provide an update for every application release. So the next update that we will provide will be for 24R4. And if you have any ideas or enhancement requests that you would like us to work on, please do post on Customer Connect. We keep a close watch on anything new that pops up there, and we're trying our best to review those ideas and respond to you. So I think with that, thanks everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.